Well, Tom's Garage got its first BMW.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, the fine steed you see behind me is a 1992 BMW K75S, affectionately known as the Flying Brick. It is a flat 3-cylinder, 750cc shaft drive motorcycle, and it's the first BMW that I've owned. I saw it yesterday or the day before. A friend of mine told me that a friend of his had it, so I met the guy, very nice gentleman, and after I saw it I just knew that I had to have it. I can't help myself. It's an affliction, an addiction, a problem, but there's worse problems to have. Let's take a quick look at the bike. Here's that flat 3 engine, 3 cylinders, pumping this way, well, I guess this way. There you go. This is the cylinder head, crankshaft on the other side, shaft drive. Look at that single-sided swing arm, ABS, all this stuff in the early 90s. And this bike has a low 86,000 miles on it, and it hasn't been registered at least since 2010, maybe not run since then. More ABS stuff. I've heard the ABS on these is kind of problematic. As of right now, I know the engine turns over, and I know that the front brake doesn't do anything. Back brake seems to work. Actually, I never even tested it. Yeah, back brake works. And that's all I know. So let's throw a battery in it. We'll check the oil. I'll throw a battery in it, and maybe we'll put a splash of gas in it and we'll see what happens. Why not? The engine definitely has some oil. Check that. Battery is underneath this whole piece here that you have to kind of fish out of here. And I stuck my lithium down there. Probably requires some giant German unit. I put some gas in the tank. The tank does not smell great, but with the battery on, you can see we have at least have a clock. I don't hear a fuel pump. I hear a relay, but I don't hear a fuel pump. ABS light flashing. I don't know. Can you shut that off here? Someone will tell me, I'm sure. This looks like a choke. Let's try that. Yeah, it says choke. Let's try that and see what happens. Get you in the stand here. Alright. Oh, are you kidding me? That isn't what I was expecting. One splash of gas, one crank, and it started. There, shut the choke off. Amazing. Okay, I've been messing with it. It'll idle for a little bit, but it just doesn't keep going. So I have some good carburetor cleaner stuff. I put that in there, and we'll just let that soak for a while. Here, I'll show you. Sometimes it'll idle for 30 seconds, sometimes it'll idle for 5. Either way, as soon as I touch the throttle, it dies. So let's move on. We'll take this cap off and see what we got underneath there. Okay, we got the front brake bled out. Of course, I've removed all the old fluid, chased down the system. This little ABS unit on this side is for the front, so there's a bleeder there. So I bled that, and I was getting fluid out of there, but nothing was coming out of the front. I had to mess around quite a bit. There was some blockage in this line here, so I cleared that out, and feels like it's pretty good. I mean, it'll be good enough for now. Unfortunately, now we're at the point where this thing will crank, but it kind of wants to start, but it doesn't. So I don't know if our fuel system got clogged up, or injectors, or pump, but I mean, I was really surprised that it started anyway. So I am going to close everything up. We'll throw a battery tender. Oh yeah, my other battery, I was messing around and that one started to get a little bit weak, so I swapped out to another spare battery I got. So I'll put a tender on here, get this one charged up all the way. We'll let this soak overnight too. Maybe it'll break some stuff down, who knows. And then we'll pull the tank off and maybe pull the injectors off. But that's enough for today. A little bit of an update. So the bike would not continue running, so I did a little bit of troubleshooting. I wasn't feeling any fuel pump. I couldn't feel the fuel pump working. I couldn't hear it working. So I pulled off the fuel cap. Fuel pump sits inside of here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, because I have it full of vinegar right now to clean out a little bit of rust and a lot of varnish. But anyway, the fuel pump sits inside. So we're looking at the tank as you sit on the bike. So on the left-hand side of the tank. And here it is in all its majestic glory. I've actually cleaned it up a little bit, so it looked much worse than this. There's this rubber collar on it, and that has all disintegrated. There was chunks of that in the bottom of the tank. There's supposed to be a screen around the bottom of this thing here. Oh, and there's a fuel level sender in there. I don't know how well you can see that. It's full of gas. Anyway, I don't think it actually has a gauge. I think it just says when it's getting empty. And this was a vent hose that you can see is in miraculous shape. So a little bit of research, and I found that you can purchase a new fuel pump from BMW for about $400, or you can purchase one from this company here, Quantum, and it comes with a new filter, a new hose, this new fixture, the new rubber bit, the new strainer, almost everything you need to get going. Now the only other thing that's going to be a problem, actually I had a little extra hose and that little extra hose, I need to get this vent line, which I think is the return line, and here is the fuel pump wiring. Here's what goes on to the fuel pump, and this is where it attaches. There's a plate on the bottom of the tank that has the fuel level sender. So I'm going to have to rig up some new wiring and figure that out. And a wire broke off of this fuel level sender in here. But from what I've heard, I could probably just bypass that fuel sending unit and just go straight to the pump. So as soon as I get most of the varnish and that melted down rubber from that old sleeve out of the bottom of this tank, then we will proceed with the rewiring first, because I got to get the wires from here through that sending unit and then up to here. Then I'll install the new one, and I think we're gonna have a good running bike, but we'll see. Looking inside the tank, there's the new pump. There's the new wiring I put on the fuel sending unit that's on the bottom here. I actually just completely broke that fuel sending unit off because it was junk. Soldered new wires on there. Got the fuel pump installed, the filter. I got a little return line right there. I had to use this hard, kind of rigid plastic because you have to use a submersible fuel line. So I ordered submersible fuel line, but there was a very small area for it to fit, and it was just too thick. It wouldn't work. Got the fuel tank installed. Got the fuel lines installed, and here we go. what do you know? I had a charge light that went out. I have an ABS light, which kind of is a no surprise. But we're a runner. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit, and I'll probably change the oil, and then we will take her for a maiden voyage. Okay, let's see how she rides. I did an oil change. We still got ABS light here. Hopefully you can see that. If not, there you go. Click it into first gear. Oh, I didn't even check the tire pressure. I should have done that, but they look okay. Oh, the ABS light went out after I started moving. That's amazing. And our little warning light on the dash went out as well. Okay, let's go left. It's running really nice and smooth. Shifts like a brand new bike. Going 30 miles an hour here. Oh, 25, I mean, there's a 25 sign. Lord knows I would not exceed speed limits. Just testing the brakes here. I'm wearing tennis shoes and I grabbed a hat because it's sunny out and who knows if I'm gonna have to walk or not. Got some rattling going on in the back. I think it's just this box on the back. There's no rubber feet on it or anything, so it's just kind of sitting there. But this bike is super smooth. Not insanely powerful, but it's got plenty of grunt. It moves just fine. I reset the trip odometer so we can see how many miles we're doing here. I'm kind of afraid to just grab a whole handful of brakes to see if this thing actually has ABS. Who knows? I guess let's get in a straight line here. And no one behind me. It's a weird ABS. It does have ABS on the back. It just kind of skips. I'm just mashing the back pedal and it's like pulsating. I didn't bleed the back brake though, so we should probably do that. I did bleed the front. I'm really afraid to grab a whole handful of front brake. The brakes are strong though. No warning lights. Let's see, we have a horn. We have a high beam indication. I already checked the turn signals. This cancel on this left one is weird. Actually, the cancel on both of them is weird. I don't know, do you have to hold it? Ooh, I got some smoke behind me. Let's see if it does it when we're idling. Oh yeah, there's some good amount of smoke behind me here. Come on, turn signals cancel. Really glad the warning lights are out. Still afraid to use that front brake hard though. That thing up for a while? I don't know. Let's get a dog chasing me. Alright, let's grab a handful of front brake. Hard to say. Alright, up to the top of the hill and turn around. Found an oil screen behind us. This bike has 86,000 miles, so could be burning oil, could be just because it's been sitting. When I drained the oil that came out of it was red. It kind of looked like transmission fluid. It smelled like transmission fluid. I wonder if someone put that in there to try to clean the engine out. Let's try the back brake again. Wow, that is just odd. It does pulse though. Alright, I'm going to park it and we'll go to the phone camera and see if this thing is smoking hard. Not sure how this is going to show up on the camera. Well, let's rev it and see. But we definitely have some oil smoke or some kind of smoke coming out of it here. But no dash lights. No obvious leaks. Very good. Now when I shut it off and turn it back on, we get that. See, I think this is supposed to be like for hazards, but it doesn't work. And I would think that would be the hazards light, you know, flashing. Maybe, like I said, some other BMW folks can take a look at it and let me know. Alright, well I think that's enough for this video. We got her running. And, you know, had to change out the fuel pump, did an oil change. I don't notice any smoke, but who knows, maybe it'll come back. I don't know if I mentioned it, when I drained the oil out, it looked red. I guess maybe I did mention that, so I don't know if someone put transmission fluid in the engine to flush it or something. Anyway, I want to put some more miles on it. I'm going to order a front tire and a battery because I just have a random battery stuck in there for now. And that's about as far as I'm going to go on the bike until I get some more miles on it and decide what I want to do with it. But I do have some ideas. But it's a good running machine at the very least. Even if it does put out a little bit of smoke, that's okay. Keep checking the oil, make sure it keeps running, and ride. Alright, if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.